Good evening. Today we're going to talk about trig equations and we're going to see more graphs. So we're going to see equations with identities and we're going to see graphs with different periods. We've seen the graph with period 360 and period 180 for tangent. Now we're going to change these periods. Let's take a look at the first example. Find all the angle x between 0 and 360 degrees inclusive for which 2 sine x cos x equals sine x. You should know that sine x equals 0 gives us x equals 0, 180 or 360. In the case of 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0, we can simplify as cosine x equals 1 over 2. And if you don't know how to find x when cosine x equals 1 over 2, you can just remember that in the first quadrant, you should know that cosine of 60 degrees is 1 over 2. So this is true in the first quadrant. So basically that means that our alpha is 60 degrees. In that case, cosine x equals 1 over 2. 1 over 2 is positive, so we know that cosine is in the first and the fourth quadrant. So we have an alpha here that is 60 degrees in the first quadrant, but we have the same in the quadrant 4. We also have the alpha of 60 degrees. In quadrant 1, an alpha of 60 degrees just gives us x equals 60 degrees. But in the quadrant 4, if alpha is 60 degrees, x is 300 degrees. So we have all the solution for this equation. Second example, other equation to solve, 2 cos square y minus 1 equals sine y. In that case, be careful, the y means that we're doing cosine y squared. It's not cosine of cosine y. So we can rewrite it like this. We've seen on the previous video the identities. So we know that sine square y plus cos square y equal 1. That means we can rewrite our cosine as cos square y equal 1 minus sine square y. So if we substitute this into the equation, we get to solve this equation, we need to do a last substitution. The substitution we do is x equal sine of y. This equation then become a quadratic equation. So we get 0 equal 2x squared plus x minus 1. Okay, let's see another example. Cosine of x plus 30 degrees equal negative 0.3. Okay, here what's different on this example compared to before is that we have x plus 30 degrees inside the cosine. But we ask you that x is between 0 and 360 degrees. What does that mean? That means that if x is between 0 and 360 degrees, then x plus 30 degrees is between 30 degrees and 390 degrees. So when we solve the equation, first we look between 30 to 390 degrees and then we find x. Okay, so let's solve it. Let's see a couple more problems. Okay, let's look at your favorite part, the graph. If you notice, there's a new number. This is this number k here in front of x inside the sine or the cosine. This number is going to affect the period. So if we talk about sine and cosine, normally the period is 360. But when we multiply the variable x by a number k, we divide that period by k. So the period becomes 360 degrees over k. The difference is that here you always start at 0, but here instead of being at 90 degrees, it will be 90 degrees over k. For that cosine, you're at the minimum at 180 degrees over k. And basically, every value that you know, you just divide them by k. Okay, let's look at an example. So here we have to graph y equal cosine of 3x for x between 0 and 360 degrees. First thing we can notice, axis of the curve is y equals 0. Amplitude is 1, so the max is 1 and the minimum is -1. So here we're only going to play on the period. Okay, the important thing is here inside this we have cosine of 3x, so that means that the period for this graph is 360 divided by 3, which gives us a period of 120 degrees. When we graph for cosine, usually we do the point 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. In that case, all of this, we need to divide them by 3. So 0 divided by 3 is also 0. 90 divided by 3 is 30 degrees. 180 divided by 3 is 60. We have 90 degrees and 120. Okay, so instead of putting on our axis 0, 90, 180, and so on, I will put 0, 30, 60, 90, and 120. The question asks us to graph between 0 and 360. So technically here I'm not finished. I need to go until I arrive at 360. Here we just need to repeat this period over and over again. So I have 0, 30, 60, 90, and 120. I go every 30 degrees so I can continue until I reach 360. Okay, let's sketch a graph of 3 sine of 4x minus 2. So first, axis of the curve is y equal -2, amplitude is 3, and period is 360 divided by 4. time we need to graph a tangent function between 0 and 180. So if you remember, the tangent function has a period of 180. So here, as we have 2x, the period will become 180 divided by 2. So the period is 90 degrees. For the tangent function, this will impact the points, but it also impacts the asymptote, so you need to be careful about that.